Did orcs just become the strongest army in the freaking game? Might be a hot take, but the answer is kind of obvious to me. Let's break it down, guys. I'm Doc Crump. I'm a top 100 player in Warhammer 40,000. I'm a professional Warhammer 40 coach, and I'm a chiropractic neurologist where I love to use my educational background in neurology to break down complicated things and bring it to you super well packaged so that you can understand how to play the game Warhammer 40K really, really well. So, today we have the Munitorium Field Manual. That is a mouthful to say. And we basically have the points for the new edition of 40K. And much like all of you, we've been theorizing what army is going to be really good. Are we going to play Space Marines? Are we going to play whatever? Well, if you are Team Green, like I am Team Green, today is Victory Day. We're going to feel really, really good. Like, really, really good. I actually, it's entirely possible that this might actually be slightly too good, but we will see how it goes. It's actually been a really long time since the orcs have felt great on the tabletop, so I'm really excited about the next, month, 2 months. And GW has been very, very upfront with the fact that they might undo or redo certain changes in the first month or two, depending on how playtesting goes for lots of people. But the points are here. None of them are actually bonkers. It's just in aggregate, maybe it is a little bit bonkers. And so some of these changes were actually very, very necessary. I'm just a little bit concerned if the aggregate changes to orcs are going to make them a little bit too strong. But you know what? I'm here for it because I'm ready to put Team Green on the freaking table. Give me a wah in the chat down below if you're freaking excited. So let's go through some of these big changes and what some of the really big winners are. And I can tell you right off the rip, one of the big winners are our new toys. Now, this is not always the case. GW does not always actually make the new stuff really good. I know that people like to say GW, oh, they got to sell their models. There have been many examples of times where GW makes the new stuff just way too expensive or just not good. Buric Ironbrow, or whatever your name is from freaking the Berserk character from Leagues of Votann, I'm looking at you. So let's look at some of these things that are coming out. Now, the Banner Knob at 50 points really strikes me as a really good unit. This guy can lead flash kits, which gives us one of the really cool combinations that we can actually be doing in the Freebooters detachment, because you can give him the ignore cover enhancement, lead your flash kits, boom, some of your flash kits are ignoring cover, so they're never taking that -1 ballistic skill penalty, which is a really, really big deal for flash kits and makes them much, much stronger. He also gives the unit a 5-up invulnerable save and gives them T6 during the WA. He also does something else really, really cool. Besides the fact that he's got OC6, but since this guy can also, say, lead a unit of orc boys, well, now we can run Warhorde with a 50-point Banner Knob and effectively be green tide, because now the whole squad just has a 5 invulnerable save, which allows us to run an army list that I am currently putting together. It's not finalized. I'll give you more details when I got it, that I'm going to be calling the War Tide. But yeah, imagine 60 boys out there all with their 5-up invulnerable saves all game, T6 during the WA with their sustained hits. It becomes very, very interesting. All right. Battle Wagon, it dropped down to 145 points, but it is, you have 15 points for the Ard case. You're still only ever taking a Battle Wagon if you take Ard case. It doesn't really matter. Beast Boss exactly the same. Beast Boss on Squigosaur is a big freaking winner. The Beast Boss on Squigosaur was 110, has dropped 15 points. This is a really, really big deal, and it actually might start making Squig Hogs viable again. Now, his natural ability to give them the free heroic intervention and the +1 to charge is actually a really good ability in the new edition as well, seeing as you really want to be spamming these abilities. At 95 points, he's becoming a much more attractive piece than he was at 110. Maybe if we see him combined with, wink, wink, some other drops, then he might actually be seeing the tabletop, which is really cool to me. Beast Naga's saw a moderate drop. We saw a 5-point drop on a 10-man squad, and we saw a 20-point drop from 190 to 170 for a 20-model squad. I still don't think you're ever really going to see 20-man blobs of Beast Nagas, but they do actually get a little bit attractive at times, especially with the concept of the new Pain, what's it called, the Pain Boy? Yeah, not the Pain Boss, the Pain Boy. Let me just look at, where is he? Yeah, the Pain Boss at 60 points. Unfortunately, he's a leader. He's not support, so he can't be taken. Oh well, I was hoping he was support, but he didn't have the support keyword. Ignore that. Moving on. Big Boss for 55 points is very, very interesting. The Big Boss gives sustained hits to his units, and he can be leading your boys, your breaker boys, and your knobs. This means that there might be a reason to be running, a big boss leading your knobs in, say, like Bully Boys. Now, I don't know if the big boss actually has the war boss keyword. If he did, that'd be really great because then your knobs could also get -1 to be wounded, which would make Bully Boys feel a heck of a lot better. I don't know, but at 55 points, he does seem quite usable. He's also interesting in Green Tide, where you're giving those big blobs sustained hits. Big Bad Boss Bunko, whatever. Big Mech, 70 points, exactly the same as it used to be. Big Mech Docker Rig, however, this is the new shooting platform for the Orks. And if you're not familiar with this bad boy, whoo, at 100 points, this guy is a steal. I've been playing him on my test games at 120, and I've loved him. At 100, I am so excited for this new model. I think it's going to really add a lot of dynamite to the Orcs profile. He's going to have his 8 shots or 14 shots if he's shooting non-monsters vehicles at strength 7, AP 2, damage 2 with heavy and with sustained hits. And he also has 6 shots with his strength 10 rocket launcher. This is something that is very exciting to me for 100 points. Let's add in the fact that he's got a 5-up invulnerable save. I think he's really, really quite interesting for Orc units, and I'm definitely going to be running one at my tournament that I'm going to be my grand tournament that I'm going to be playing next weekend. Big Mech and Mega Armor, 80 points, exactly the same. Big Mech with Shock Attack Gun, he's 70 points, but he does increase to 80 points if you take 3 of them. All right, I actually really like this mechanism that GW is adding in. So like if you start taking things in spam, well, they're going to get you a little bit of a points nerf just to kind of discourage spam play. Not 100% discourage it, but just like, make sure people really, really want it. Now, I basically ignore all planes. 105 for Blitzabama, whatever. I don't care if it actually went down. It's still nothing really to write home about. It's nothing to write home with. I wish it was something to write home about, but it's not. Boomdaka Snazwagon, exactly the same. Snickrot, exactly the same. Boys, this is big. Boys went down from 80 points to 75 points, which is nice. But what's really nice is that the 20-man blob went down from 170 to 150. This is actually a very, very significant points cut, which will allow us to add in like an entire extra unit. Now, if you're playing Warhorde and you really want Gaz to lead a unit of boys, 20 points off the cost is actually very, very digestible. Now, if you want to be running a Green Tide army, you could have just dropped like 80 points of your army. You could have just gained 80 points simply from the cost of your boys alone, which is very, very exciting. Break Boys, these guys, oh my gosh, thank goodness. Break Boys were not worth 140. At 125, they became a much, much more attractive unit. They do have native reroll charges, which is really cool. And they do have that sweet, sweet anti-vehicle monster keyword for their flat 3 damage. In this edition, one of the cool things that I think a lot of people are ignoring is I think Terminators have become a lot better, like a lot better, especially if we look at the points for Space Marines, and I'll be going through those in a different video. Those 3 wound elite infantries has become much better in this edition, which makes me want Breaka Boys, and at the new cost, I might be able to actually field them because 140 was just far too much for them. Burnababa, once again, whatever. Burna Boys, fine. Dakajet, whatever. Death Dread actually went down by 10 points. Now, I still think that Death Dread sucks, which really blows because I own 5 of them because I think they're like the coolest freaking model ever. I actually think with the current profile of the Death Dread, we probably need to see it at like 90 before it's viable. But 110, at least it's moving in the correct direction for like the first time ever. So there you have it. Death Killer Wartrike went down by 10 points. Very attractive option for those speed freaks of you out there. Especially with the new Speed WAD attachment, which is incredible at the reconnaissance disposition. That rocks. Do not sleep on it. Defcopters went down by another 5 points. We're at 3 models for 75 points. If you're that Speed WAD enjoyer, bro, you basically need to be rocking the 18 freaking Defcopters. Whether you're Speed Freaks or Speed WAD, Defcopters be incredible value at that points cost. Flash Kits went down by 5 points or 10 points respectively if you're running a 10-man squad. This is really, really good. They do, however, have the tax of the 3rd unit makes them go up in points. So if you're really trying to spam them, look out. But if you're running 1 or 2 units, you save a few points there. Gargantuan Squiggoth, man, I wish I could run a Gargantuan Squiggoth. He just sucks, but it'd be really funny if it was. Gazcool is exactly the same. Cool, no big deal. Gorkanaut and Morkanaut. You know what? I forgot what the Gorkanaut and Morkanaut were. Give me 2 seconds to look this bad boy up. The Gorkanaut has gone down. He was 265, and now he is 255. So he has gone down by 10 points. Could be interesting for a Dread Mob detachment. Gretchen actually went up by 5 points. You know what? Gretchen are the best unit in the freaking army. Sure, they went up from 40 to 45. I'll take that all day long. no cares in the world. Commandos, Hunter Rig, who cares? Killikons at 122.40. I believe that's the same. I can just check that real fast for you. Killikons went down by 5 points or 10 points if you're taking the big blob. This is cool. Killikons actually probably have a real place in the current edition of Warhammer, whereas it was practically impossible for them to ever really get line of sight visibility in the old edition. In the new edition, it becomes much easier. So it's entirely possible that Killikons have a real place in the game now, which is cool. Kurug 145, whatever. Commandos are the same cost. Custom Booster Blasta, same cost. Ludas, same cost. They do go up when you take a third unit of them, which I think is probably pretty smart, especially with the addition of the new detachments. So if you are playing more DACA for 1 DP and you're adding it to your other detachments, it can really be heavily encouraged to be running a lot of Ludas because Ludas love having assault and sustain hits during the WA. So I think this makes sense to me. I think it's totally reasonable that Ludas basically stay the same cost because they're not good, but they get a little bit of a points nerf if you're taking the third unit. I think that does make sense, and it's a good idea, especially considering Ludas are probably much better in 11th edition than they were in 10th edition. Now, granted, I still don't think they're good, but they are better. The reason for that is because they hit on 6s anyway. They don't care about -1 ballistic skill. And since they hit on 6s, like, it's just whatever. You're not making them any worse. But since your opponents don't get the +1 armor save from cover any longer, the AP one they have is real, which does make them just play better in general in the new edition. We've got Meganobs, same points cost. We got Megatrack Scrapjet, 75 points. I believe that actually might be down slightly. No, it's the same. Pardon me. It's the same. Mech, same points cost. And he has the leader keyword here, but in the app he has the support keyword. Just so you guys are aware, I'm not sure which one he is, so I think they just kind of made a little oopsies on that one. Met Guns, Morkanaut went down by 10 points as well. So if you wanted to run a Dread Mob, running 2 Gorkanauts and 2 Morkanauts, you saved yourself 40 points. I don't know if that's actually a really, really good way to go, but it is possible. Now, the next guy that I am excited about is Mozrog Scragbad. Mozrog, my boy, he's fell from grace. He was the most important unit. He was the best model in the entire freaking army back in index times of 10th edition. But once we went into 10th edition Codex, he got the mounted keyword. He lost 2 blips of his toughness. He lost his 4 Phonopane, went to a 5 Phonopane. Just became way, way worse. Got kind of a crappy leader ability and lost his ability to get devastating wounds on 5s when he charges. That really, really kind of sucked. However, now we have Mr. Mozrog at 125 points. At 125 points, I really think he might be worth running now. Like, just straight up, he could be worth running at this point. He was 145 points. That's a 20-point buff to him. Just taking a solo Mozrog has become significantly more attractive to me now. So he has a 4-up invuln anyway. He doesn't really care about the bonus AP or bonus armor he used to get from cover. The -1 ballistic skill, if he is partially obscured, it becomes more relevant. Let's see if he gets the mobile keyword. If he gets the mobile keyword to go along with the new Squighog boys, which, by the way, the Squighog boys don't have the mobile keyword as of yet. That might be something that drops next week. But if they do have the mobile keyword, then that could make him a very interesting solo piece. All right, knobs are the same points cost, but they once again, they get the points nerf if you take a third squad, which you probably won't. Pain Boss for 60 points. Leader, I don't know if he has support. He might have it in the app, but this is a little bit bizarre. Pain Boy has the support keyword. Pain Boy is the same cost as he currently is, but don't forget that Pain Boy actually did get better because in the current edition of 40k, extra attacks do get a bonus attack for the WA. So now his extra Erdy Syringe can, crit for 2 attacks instead of just 1. Rocket Truck, Squig Buggy, whatever, Shock Jump, Jagsta, whatever. Squig Hogs is a big one. These guys went down significantly, like 20 points for 8 models. It might actually be even more. Like, let me take 2 seconds to take a quick look at this. Squig Hogs, let's see. Yeah, it was 300 points. So they went actually down by it was pretty significant. They used to be 300 points for an 8-man squad. So they went down to 270. That's a 30-point drop. It's a 10-point drop for 4 models. That's relevant. It might make Squig Hog Riders relevant in the new edition. I'm not sure if they are, but it possibly is. And with the addition of the mobile keyword, I'm looking forward to playing with some Squigs. Stompa down to 600 points. This is hilarious because this is a 25% points buff because he used to be 800 points. At 600 points, is he possibly good? I don't think so. But, no, all right, let me say this better. He might actually be usable at 600 points. I'm interested to play around with it. I'm legit interested to play around with the stop at 600 points. I suspect he's not good. I suspect he still sucks. How the heck are you ever going to deploy him, for example? But it's possible he is okay now. Storm Boys, 65 points, same. Tank Bustas went right in hand with the Breaker Boys. Tank Bustas were just not good at 140. They were far too expensive. But at 125, they start becoming much more attractive again. They're still not good at killing tanks. And with the -1 ballistic skill that you're going to hit that you're going to take in 11th edition, they become even more inaccurate. But perhaps there's a place for them at 125. I'm not sure yet. Truck, 65 points. Warbikers, 60 points and 120 points. I think that's the same if I'm not mistaken. Warboss at 75 points. This is one that I really, really like. Now, he didn't go up in points or down in points. But with his new profile, where you can give him the Strength 8 weapon that has Cleave on it, as a solo model, you can just run him as a solo unit, especially in Warhorde where he's getting sustained hits. And he has Cleave on like, oh geez, what is it? I think it's almost 12 attacks during the wall by himself. I think this guy is now an interesting solo leader, which could be very, very fascinating. Warboss and Mega Armor, whatever. War Trek at 60 points. This one is iffy for me. So the new War Trek, he's got that ability to give your opponent -1 to be hit if he hits him. The problem is, with everything having -1 ballistic skill, you ain't guaranteed to hit your opponent because you're hitting on 6s, and you only have like 5 shots. So it's like, I don't know. I'm probably going to include 1 or 2 in my list just to try him out. I'm not sure if this is the correct points cost. He might need to be, honestly, even a little bit cheaper. Waz, Bomb, Blaster Jet, whatever. Wazdaka Gutsmet is the same points cost. Now, Wazdaka is actually just an incredible model, and I think I really want him in my armies. But with the nerfs to the ability to not teleport in turn 1, it's kind of a problem for me. And he can't Rapid Ingress in turn 1 if you go first. That's kind of a pretty big nerf for him. So I'm not so certain he's worth 175 in 11th edition. In 10th edition, totally. He might have needed to go down a little bit, but I'm not here complaining. We've got pretty good buffs so far in this edition. So there's no complaint for me. I'm just talking on a unit by unit basis here. Weird Boy, same cost, no difference. Weird Boy, still awful. And then we have Zod Grod Wartsnaga for 80 points, which is the same. So basically, all these points, they freaking rock. I love them. They're really, really good. Man, Orks are feeling incredibly good to me. It might be a little hyperbolic to say that they are the best army in the game, but whatever. We make predictions. I'm very comfortable swallowing some eating crow if my predictions are not correct. However, with these points, with the dispositions, guys, you should be expecting to see a lot of Orks content where I'm going to be coming up with some good list builds and stuff. So if you like that stuff, thumbs up, like, share it with your friends, all those things. Crump on. Bye-bye.